I'm Mavish, and I'm here with tips on how to deliver your sales presentation. Have you ever thought about how two people can tell exactly the same joke and one person is hilarious, but when the other person tells it, no one even cracks a smile? Communication is not just the words and imagery you use, it's in your tone and demeanor, how well you've prepared, and who else presents with you. So if you're a salesperson wanting to nail your next presentation, what are the considerations? Let me take you through a few tips. Studies during the pandemic suggest that Zoom fatigue cuts down on your ability to focus in remote meetings. People are also less likely to interject with a question during a video call than they would in person. So these days, it's even more important to make your presentation easy to understand. Avoid stuffing your presentation and voiceover with unnecessary jargon, and build in long pauses and breakpoints so that your prospect can ask questions and you can check they understand. The clearer your message and slides are, the easier you'll find to deliver your deck clearly too. Being clear and simple can sound easier than it really is. Take the time to distill things down, as it will pay off when you give your pitch over and over again. Most people hate the sound of their own voice, let alone presenting in front of an audience. The only way to get around that? Practice, practice, practice. Try presenting in front of a mirror or recording yourself presenting. It might make you squirm to start with, but you'll gain a confidence that'll come across in your delivery. If you want to take it even further and talk like a pro, consider joining a public speaking class or an organization like Toastmasters. No one nails presenting without practice. Did you know that a stand-up comedian sometimes performs a new act hundreds of times in front of an audience to refine their material? You're not prepping to present in front of an audience of thousands expecting a laugh a minute, so hundreds of times is probably a bit over the top, but there's still no doubt that the more you practice a presentation, the better it will get. To start with, you may want to have a script and learn it off by heart. And as you practice more with friends and family and then with prospects, you'll learn what resonates and what doesn't, as well as how to adapt your pitch to the audience based on their reactions to what you're saying. Having memorized key points to come back to will always serve you well, even when you've given the presentation many times before. Think about how you divide up the parts of the presentation between the team, as well as how you can lean on your team for feedback and input. Sometimes you may wish you had your CEO in every presentation with you, because they're just so good at talking passionately about your product. Consider building recordings into your decks so that your CEO can record a portion of your presentation once that can then be viewed whenever. There's nothing like data and other social proof like customer testimonials to make your sales decks convincing. One of the key functions of your voiceover is to explain and contextualize the data you include as part of your story. You'll likely know those stats and quotes inside out, so when you're prepping your delivery, make sure you know how to clearly and succinctly explain what the audience is seeing and how it connects to your overall story. With data, double check when you're practicing that you're striking the right balance between detail and clarity when you provide that context, and that the audience understands all the data points included. Remember that the delivery of your pitch doesn't end when you exit the room or click end call now. Follow up over email promptly with all participants, sharing your deck and reiterating next steps. For a personal touch, why not quickly record a personalized follow-up message in the last slide of your deck, referencing the discussion you just had? Let's summarize all the steps for nailing the delivery of your presentation. First, speak clearly and simply and put the effort in to distill down your message. Second, find your voice through practice and leaning into this sometimes uncomfortable process of perfecting your approach to public speaking. Third, practice that specific pitch with friends, family, and anyone who will listen. It's a truism because it's true. Practice makes perfect. Fourth, involve your team. Decide who is presenting which slide. Tag them into a slide to add additional information, or have them add recordings you can use when they're not in the room. Fifth, make extra effort contextualizing data. It's powerful, but only when it's integrated into your story. Sixth, remember to follow up. Your delivery doesn't end when the meeting does. I hope you found this a useful quick summary of how to deliver a sales presentation in a way that gets results. This is just one video in our sales guide series, so please check out the others on our channel. Any other tips to share on how to deliver a sales presentation smoothly? Drop those in the comments. Thanks.